Thank you so much. I really can't begin this without making a special mention of the Multicultural Center. If you had a chance to see some of the video that was running as people were entering in, you saw that the MCC was featured as the venue. The Multicultural Center has been really an invaluable resource to us throughout the process of our Antiracism Inc. program series. So thank you so very much to Zavini, to all of your staff, past and present. We're really, really grateful for the space and to be able to do this here. So thank you very, very much. Thank you. So because we have a book that we're very proud of, I'm just going to read a couple of paragraphs by way of introducing. Sorry, before I do that, let me begin by introducing the co-editors of the Antiracism Inc. volume. To my left is Dr. Paula Ioanide. She's Associate Professor at the Center for the Study of Race and Ethnicity at Ithaca College. And to my right is someone who might be familiar to many of you, Dr. Allison Reed, whose PhD is from the English department here. We're very proud of her. She is now at Old Dominion University, and we're all looking very much forward to her incredible book that will be coming out in about a year. So please join me in welcoming the co-editors. So with that, I'm going to read just a little bit to you. So Antiracism Inc., Why the Way We Talk About Racial Justice Matters, began in the fall of 2012. So keep in mind, we were in an Obama moment when we started the project. So it really began as a series that was developed across 3 years of thematic programming at UCSB in the English department under the center that's referred to as the American Cultures and Global Context Center. In that capacity, I was directing the program series, and at that time, Allison Reed, who was a graduate student, was the graduate fellow for the program. So together with the people that we invited, and I'll mention them in a second, we thought critically about the university in the context of anti-racist appropriations, and we worked practically to draw resources and cultural capital from the institution towards addressing the needs of aggrieved communities. So while we were housed in the English department, our programming privileged collaborative and non-hierarchical modalities among scholars, activists, poets, and artists in order to engender radical decolonizing methodologies as well as decolonizing discourses. So we're very, very excited to invite our readers and the people here today into our critical and creative engagement. So the Antiracism Inc. program and our collective of scholars and poets and activists, we created methods of working, of learning, and really being together towards a vision of radical social transformation that simultaneously negotiates domination and exceeds its epistemological and ontological paradigms. We wanted to model a way of producing knowledge that is uncommon in academic domains, that privilege individualist production. We wanted to work in a way that was at once creative, intellectually rigorous, and dialogic. We sought to foster openness, develop relationships, engage in improvisation, and emphasize process over product. Such methods have long been central to the organizing modes of the Black radical tradition. And while the immediate demands of organizing and scholarly work may sometimes cast art aside, the space to imagine opens up new ways of thinking and being, allowing for what we've been calling an ethics of co-creation. It's almost impossible to say thank you and to mention all of the people who have been a part of the project and the program series. Very quickly, I can say that over those 3 years, we had 2 conferences, part of one that you saw as you were walking in, the last conference that focused very specifically on questions of race and sexuality. People like C. Riley Snorton, Chawn Crawley, Sarah Haley, and other scholars joined us for that event. We had a reading series that included activists, people from, say, the Chawn Greenwood Working Group, all the way in Ithaca, New York, to local activists here who at that time had been fighting against the gang injunction and other issues related specifically to the local community. We had a film series that brought scholars from across the country to think about these questions in a transnational context as well. And as graduate fellow, Allison Reed and another former graduate from the department, also now in a job at Cal Poly, as graduate fellows, we had the opportunity to co-teach courses together. So very quickly, I just want to name a few of the people that have been a part of the project. That includes George Lipsitz, Nick Mitchell, Chandin Reddy, Daniel Hosang, Swati Rana, who's here at UCSB, Aisha Finch, Barbara Tomlinson, Sarah Haley, Sunaina Myra, Shauna Redmond, Kevin Velez, Glenn Adams, Lalaya Miriar, and many, many, many others. So we're very, very proud of the work that we managed to accomplish, working across the hierarchies, across various differences, and also both inside and outside of the university. I think I have one more, but I might stop there. Okay.
Did you want to segue into the...
Thank you. Do I start this one? Okay, so with that background, I did forget something very, very important, forgive me. One of the other really, really important things that happened was the Punctum Lab. So the production of the book, Antiracism, Inc., is absolutely a part of the process of scholars from around the country, activists and poets coming together and working together, and then Eileen Joy and the Punctum Publishing Lab working with undergraduate students and graduate students through the process of editing and actually producing this incredible book that is available through open access and outside on the table. So with that background, I wanted to just read this quote that sort of encapsulates some of the issues that we really wanted to address. So while related to colorblind, multicultural, and diversity discourses, the appropriation of anti-racist rhetoric as a strategy for advancing neoliberal and neoconservative agendas is a unique phenomenon that requires careful interrogation and analysis.